rivals from Madrid in this stadium in just over 24 hours time. Game that's going to be kicking off actually 1 hour ahead of the time we're at now. It's 1 a.m. in Central Europe in Madrid. And the game's going to kick off at 8 p.m. 2 a.m. in Central Europe, 8 p.m. in New York or New Jersey, if you like. But these players are staying in Manhattan. They arrived on Wednesday from Houston, straight from the game against Arsenal, which they won on penalties, came from behind and won 3-2 on penalties after losing the first game of the tour against Bayern Munich. As Zinedine Zidane has been saying tonight in the press conference ahead of this training session, that there's things are slowly improving, as you expect from pre-season. The first game you start off slowly, second game you get a little bit more into it. There were positives the other night against Arsenal, a lot of positives, more than anything, coming from behind to draw level back to 2-2 and taking the game to Arsenal nearly all the game. Lots of chances for Madrid. It was an entertaining game, both teams down to 10 men after Nacho there in your picture was sent off for an unfortunate handball incident, gave Arsenal the first goal. But the game, as Zinedine Zidane said also in his press conference, and all the positives from the game were slightly overshadowed by the injury to Marco Asensio, who it looks as if will be out for a good part of the season, talking about 8 to 9 months for him to recuperate from his injury, which is one of the worst injuries a footballer could get. It's the cruciate ligaments in the knee. And so Marco Asensio, who actually did everything to get Madrid back into the game, set up the first goal, scored the second goal in an eventful 15 or so minutes that he was on the pitch, got Madrid back to 2-2 after half-time. He'd only been on the pitch from the break, and then fell awkwardly and did that to his knee, and he will no longer be part of the plans for Zinedine Zidane for the beginning of the season, which is a bit of a blow for for any team to lose a player of the quality of Marco Asensio. So that has overshadowed a little bit things on the tour of North America. It's never nice when one of the players has to step out with the action because of a long-term injury like that, and the players were deeply affected by that on Tuesday night, and they've been talking about it since in the post-match interviews. People like Alvaro Odriozola, Adrian de la Fuente and Marcelo as well all mentioned the injury to Marco Asensio as being the most important thing from the game, although Real Madrid did go on and win on penalties after getting back to 2-2. And as I say, it was a very positive second half performance. It wasn't a bad first half performance, but Real Madrid just found themselves 2-0 down against Arsenal. But that's all forgotten, and now all focus is on Atlético Madrid in this stadium, and it is a mighty fine stadium at that, 82,500 capacity in this stadium in New Jersey. And as I say, more used to the NFL games than association football, with both New York Jets and the New York Giants playing their home games in this fantastic venue. But on Friday evening, it's all about the clash of the giants from the capital of Spain, Real Madrid against Atlético Madrid. And a chance to start the season on the right foot against one of the main rivals in domestic competition. Atletico Madrid are out in North America as well this week, playing games already. They've drawn their first game of the International Champions Cup just on Tuesday. A 0-0 draw with Chivas for Atletico. So they starting slowly as well. They've been in pre-season games as well in Spain before they left for America. So all teams now getting a little bit back up to pace. Zinedine Zidane there talking to his backroom staff. He's in complete control of everything that's going on. Asked a lot of questions in the press conference about potential movements of players coming in, coming out, and all his focus is on is this game against Atletico. He mentioned on a couple of occasions, let's just play this game, get back to Madrid, see what happens. We know that things can happen, players can come in, players can go out, but Zinedine Zidane sees all of that as areas for the club to look at, not for him to answer directly. Of course, he's very good at taking away any focus from certain questions, bats them away very quickly, very professionally, very politely as well, but just doesn't want to be getting involved in some of the speculation about player transfers, and quite rightly do his job, which is use the players he's got. He always loves to talk about the squad and using the squad and keeping players involved, and that of course was his part of his success when he first took over at Real Madrid and delivered 3 Champions League titles in a row. And he'll be looking to have that as one of his main priorities again this season, as he's back at the club with a full pre-season. Of course, he didn't have a full pre-season the first year at the club and still won the Champions League. Then he had 2 full pre-seasons, won the Champions League on 2 occasions. And I think this Real Madrid side will reap the benefits from Zinedine Zidane being back and planning, getting those games in at the end of last season, giving him a chance to assess everyone's situation and be able to plan long term for this season. As you can see, a relaxed bunch of players there taking part in the traditional rondo on the pitch. They know that they'll be in for a battle against Atletico Madrid. Zinedine Zidane mentioned it in the pre-match press conference. He said that Atletico Madrid will be up for a fight, as they always are, and that we have to compete. And you can expect that it will be a pretty strong starting lineup for the Whites on Friday, in the with the hope of really getting into the game in good fashion and having a good start and maybe taking something from the first half. Of course, these are pre-season games and players will be blooded and there will be a lot of substitutions, but there wasn't as many against Arsenal as there was in the first game against Bayern Munich, when Zinedine Zidane changed the full starting 11 at half-time. So it was 2 completely separate teams came out for each half against Bayern Munich. Very young and inexperienced side in the second half. Against Arsenal the other night, there were a number of changes as well, but there was a lot of strength coming on from the bench, including Marco Asensio and Gareth Bale as well, who came off and played the second 45 minutes. And there's change as well to the 2 full-backs. So expect, again, a lot of changes at the moment. Results, although they're nice to get, not too important at the top of the minds of all the people behind the preparation of these teams. The same goes for Atletico Madrid as well. They'll just want to be getting prepared for the start of the La Liga season. These games come and go quickly, and if they are lost, then they're quickly forgotten. But of course, teams get the most benefit from going out and playing as hard as they can, and physically getting the players into the right shape for these tight games. And that's exactly what Real Madrid are doing on this current tour. Remember, they've got more games when they come back to Europe after Friday's derby against Atletico Madrid. They'll be jetting off to Germany almost straight away, and the chance to play, potentially, to play Bayern Munich again, this time in the home of Bayern Munich in the Allianz Arena on the 31st of the month, the last day of the month. That will depend on what happens in the semi-final on the 30th, on Tuesday, when Real Madrid will take on Tottenham Hotspur in the Allianz Arena. So with a couple of injuries also to Brahim Diaz and Ferland Mendy as well, the new French fullback has got a muscular injury as well. It's keeping him out. I believe that Brahim is still training on his own as well. Perhaps Ferland Mendy is going through his own paces as well elsewhere, unable to join the squad. So a couple of injuries at the start of the season. Hopefully nothing too serious, but that one to Marco Asensio has been confirmed as a cruciate ligament injury. He will be out for probably all of the season, which is a big blow to lose a player of his talent. But well, there's plenty of talent in this Real Madrid squad to challenge and to come in and replace the minutes that Marco Asensio would get. People like Lucas Vázquez and Brahim Diaz and Isco there in the centre of your picture as well will just mean more protagonism for these kind of players. Lucas Vázquez there on the left as well, player who will benefit certainly in minutes wise, or getting more minutes from the absence of Marco Asensio this season. But the rondos continue. These players will be happy, I suppose, after 10 days of hard work in Canada and then an intense week of matches culminating with Atletico Madrid on Friday night in this stadium. They'll be happy to get back to their homes and families for a couple of days before going off again to Germany. But it's a very important stage of any season for the footballers. This pre-season, the players need to get rhythm of games, they need to get minutes into the legs, and a load of hard work has been done in Montreal, and I'm sure everything in these sessions is detailed and focused on and well thought out, with the idea that these players are all ready in the best possible way to face Celta Vigo on the 17th of August. That is the first competitive game of the season for Real Madrid. A 5 p.m. kickoff that day on the 17th of August in Balaidos on the northwest coast of Spain. It's a 5 p.m. kickoff in August, which you would think normally would be a tad too hot in Spain in August, but being picked to play in possibly the coolest stadium in the Primera Liga, in the top division, away at Vigo, and that's a game that should have no problems kicking off at 5 p.m. It will be warm, but can be warm in Galicia in those dates, but certainly nothing like playing a 5 p.m. kickoff in Sevilla or in Granada or in Malaga in August. Games which would be, or kickoff times which will be avoided in the more southern cities. There you have the scene. 3 groups of players doing the traditional rondos there on the side of the pitch in the MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, as Real Madrid warm up for this training session. It'll be about an hour and a half. This training session we've seen, as the tour has gone on, there's been a lot more use off the ball. There's been a lot more shooting practice. There's been a lot more games of two-touch football, as the players have little by little put to one side the physical work and doing more and more ball work now. And the important thing is that they're kept focused and enjoying their training sessions, which seem to be half the battle, I think, for any football coach, certainly at this level, is keeping the players happy and ready to go out on the training pitch and give their all and be ready for games. And of course that is planned meticulously at Real Madrid. There you see David Bertoni in the background, trusted right-hand man of Zinedine Zidane, and he quickly got a glimpse there of Zinedine Zidane. There he is. He's keeping an eye on things. David Bertoni's keeping an eye on things, and everyone seems to be happy and prepared for this, the first Madrid derby to be played outside of Europe on Friday night in this stadium, when Real Madrid and Atlético Madrid go face to face in the International Champions Cup. Zinedine Zidane looks perfectly relaxed with the situation. As do the players behind. Thibaut Courtois there, who was involved in the penalty shootout against Arsenal. If there was a draw in any of these International Champions Cup games after 90 minutes, goes to the penalty shootout. Madrid coming back in the game to get back to 2-2, forced that penalty shootout against Arsenal, and Madrid went on to win it. As the players break out into another session, go across the pitch, we should see them doing some sprints. Luka Modric trying to curl the ball into the goal there. Plenty of fluids on board. Hot, humid temperatures on the east coast of America at the moment. Should be warm in this stadium as well. On kickoff on Friday evening, 8 p.m. kickoff local time, 2 a.m. in the local time in Spain. For anybody following the game from Madrid or from Central Europe, indeed, it's a late one, from 2 till 4, same kickoff time that we had the other evening or last weekend against Bayern Munich as well. There's a few lucky people just seem to be creeping into the stadium here, getting a glimpse of this Real Madrid squad out there going through the paces in the MetLife Stadium. Fantastic facility in New Jersey, over 82,000 capacity stadium, as Real Madrid prepare for the first ever Madrid derby outside of Europe, which will take place in this stadium just over 24 hours time against Atlético Madrid. Of course, those duels bring back lots of memories, recent memories of big games in Europe in the Champions League for the two sides. Real Madrid coming out top in Lisbon and then in Milan. Of course, that famous Sergio Ramos goal, whenever Atlético Madrid are mentioned, Sergio Ramos's goal always comes to mind. But that's all we've got time for now, as we leave you with images of Real Madrid on the training pitch. Hope you've enjoyed this short session, and we'll see you next time.
The philosophy here is easy, it's winning.
Pourquoi? Parce que c'est le meilleur club du monde.
Mais de pouvoir justement repousser nos limites, essayer d'être le plus performant possible.